Hey everyone, welcome to 2024 Sports Take Drive, Season 2. You guys can finally see our faces because we started recording our faces. I am Noah, this is Colin, and we're here to talk sports again for another year.
Yeah, we're back. So today is the 1st of October. So as you guys know, baseball playoffs started yesterday of the wild card. No, is there any surprises for you for game one?
Honestly, there weren't any surprises for me necessarily. I love the Cubs winning as a Cubs fan. That was great to see. Let me just pull up the actual schedule of what did happen real quick.
Well, the Red Sox beat the Yankees, which was Garrett Crochet threw an absolute masterpiece. I think we all knew he was pitching game one. No really surprises by that. But the Cubs game yesterday, I think that seals the series. That's the Padres' best pitcher. They don't have much pitching after that, starter-wise. So I think that series is over. I'd be shocked if Padres win this game today or win game 3. So I think it'll be Cubs Brewers, which as a Brewer fan, I don't appreciate. Scares me, honestly. But we'll see how it goes. And Dodgers won 10-5 to the Reds. Are you shocked here?
No. It's the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Why can't I? Okay. Okay, now that I have all the scores in front of me, now that you listed them. Yeah, like you said, there weren't any really major surprises. Tigers beating the Guardians, not really too shocked there. Tigers,
Google pitching.
yeah, Scooble was pitching. Tigers, not the greatest team overall, so I actually think that the Guardians can still probably squeeze one out of here. But like I said, that first game was probably going to go to the Tigers for sure. Red Sox, Yankees, not necessarily surprising because I've said all year Aaron Judge has been carrying that team. Red Sox are a solid team as well. Dodgers, like you said, super team. And Cubs Padres, love to see it 3-1.
I was watching that game, personally cheering as hard as I can for the Padres because I think the Brewers can sweep them easily. They didn't look too good hitting wise, obviously, only 1 run. Cubs did look solid. The back-to-back home runs was honestly what helped them the most, obviously, take the lead. And Dansby Swanson scoring in the 8th or 7th did help too.
Right.
But let's get to what Noah likes more. We got football.
Well, Colin, due to the starting of this podcast, we're already at week 4 in the NFL season. So basically, what we're seeing right now is we've got 2 undefeated teams. The Bills and the Eagles, one in the AFC, one in the NFC. Josh Allen this year has been pretty amazing. I think a lot of people would say could be, if we were talking MVP right now, he's probably the front runner. Best quarterback, has pretty much dominated on the best team. There's been I shouldn't say a lot. There's been other candidates. I think another one for me has been Patrick Mahomes. I mean, his team is pretty crappy. His team hasn't been doing very good. But when you look at what he's done to help carry his team, he's done pretty amazing, actually. Especially now that he's finally gotten back one of his best receivers, Xavier Worthy. He just threw 4 touchdowns. So, there's that. And then looking around the league, there's been a lot of surprises. Number 1, Daniel Jones.
I was just about to talk about him. He has a game
Colts.
under 220 passing yards, with one being 316. He does have 2 receptions. Both were in one game. This last game wasn't his best, but still has a touchdown every game. He looks like an elite quarterback after leaving the Giants.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Daniel Jones has been pretty impressive this season, but I'm not going to say anything remotely close to any good takes about him, mostly because it's been 4 weeks into a season. Last year we saw Sam Darnold turn into Tom Brady for most of the season, and he stunk in the playoffs, and he's not doing too hot in Seattle. So I'm not gonna like pretend like this is like the ultimate career redemption story, because I really don't think it is. I simply just think this was a quarterback that was on one crappy team. He's gone to another team that's not necessarily as crappy, but not necessarily that good, but he's probably found himself in probably a better offense. He understands more, and the league just hasn't necessarily been able to adjust to it. It's like I said, it's only been 3 weeks, and even just in this last game, they finally lost and didn't do as great against a really good Rams team. This Rams team that should basically be undefeated because they almost lost to the Eagles in a really close game. Well deserving. I mean, Daniel Jones threw 2 picks. I mean, that's not necessarily that great to me. Yeah, he had a touchdown, but like I said, and I think another thing that has to be talked about this year has been the Ravens and how disappointing they've been.
Yeah.
I think before going into Week 4, it was the Chiefs and the Ravens, but like I said, Chiefs are finally getting healthy again. They're bringing back players. Ravens, they don't have much to say. Lamar Jackson has been underperforming. Like I've always believed, Lamar Jackson really isn't the greatest quarterback in the league. And he proves it to me because Mahomes destroys him every time. And other quarterbacks in the playoffs beat him every time. Because Lamar is simply just a little overrated in my eyes. I think he's especially now, he's got the best running back in the league behind him. He's got one of the best teams in the entire league, probably next to the Eagles. And I saw that you made that face, Colin. But
Saquon Barkley is better than Derrick Henry. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay, I understand why you think that, but I also understand that you're forgetting something. Derrick Henry rushed for 19 touchdowns last year. That led the league. Derrick Henry had 1,900 yards last year. He's older than Saquon Barkley by a bit. Derrick Henry has won Offensive Player of the Year before and had 2,000-yard seasons. He's also led the league in rushing almost 3 straight years in a row. Saquon Barkley just led the league in rushing for the first time. Derrick Henry has been a great running back on 2 different teams.
I'm saying, personally, as of right now, I'd rather have Saquon Barkley on my team than Derrick Henry. Saquon's a better running back at the moment. Before career versus career, Derrick Henry's going to be better. He's had a long career. But Saquon Barkley is who I would want now.
Well, I would agree. Saquon Barkley is actually... but this is my problem. How great were Saquon Barkley's numbers before he went to the Eagles?
Still...
They were good numbers.
Yeah.
No, they were good numbers. But did he rush for 2,000 yards with the Giants?
No.
So now all of a sudden he joins the Eagles and now he's got 2,000 yards. You know what? Saquon Barkley gets the most yards before being touched than any other running back in the entire league. He doesn't get...
And
they have an amazing offensive line.
Yes.
Bijan Robinson is faster than Saquon Barkley. Where's that number for him?
But you're saying Derrick Henry doesn't have a good O-line?
He does have a good O-line.
Yeah.
But also, Derrick Henry is a 332-pound quarterback. Saquon Barkley, if there's a guy in his face in the backfield, he's not always going to be able to do it. Derrick Henry can run through that.
Saquon does too.
Yeah.
I think you're underappreciating Saquon.
No, Saquon Barkley is an amazing player. Saquon Barkley is one of the best players in the league. He's better than Derrick Henry right now. But
that's what I was saying.
This year, his athleticism, his ability to play, his playmaking ability is better than Derrick Henry is right now. But I'm telling you,
that's exactly what I was saying.
Consistency-wise, running back-wise, even if you told me, let me get a running back on my team right now to perform for me, I'm still going to pick Derrick Henry. Because Derrick Henry doesn't get injured like Saquon Barkley does. Saquon Barkley has a history of injuries.
Derrick Henry's had a few injuries too.
Derrick Henry's games played last year, 17. The year before that, 17. The year before that, 16. He got injured in 2021. He played 8 games. Before that, 16 games, 15 games, 16 games. And then before that, he wasn't like a regular running back.
Yeah. But I'm saying, I would still want Saquon. Would you agreed exactly what my
Yes,
point was?
yes.
He's a better running back.
Yes. I think
But I'm just curious here.
playmaking ability.
Yes. From what you said, you're saying as a Bears fan, if they traded for a running back right now, you'd rather have Derrick Henry than Saquon?
Yes. Because no, here's why. I think Derrick Henry can manage a bad O-line better than Saquon Barkley can. Because I think Derrick Henry's O-line when he was in Tennessee was fairly comparable to the O-line that Saquon Barkley had in the Giants. Neither of them had, I don't think, terrible O-lines from my memory.
Giants was pretty rough there.
But they weren't. But they weren't. Neither of them were like great O lines. Now, the Giants did have some seasons with terrible O lines. I will say that. But still,
which also didn't help with Saquon's injuries.
Yes.
Saquon's first year with good O line, he was fine.
With an amazing O line, the greatest O line of all time.
Yes, I would agree with that. So yeah, he didn't get injured. The Giants O line was pretty off. Like one of the worst O lines we've seen, honestly. And that's why they struggled for so long now. I mean, they're still struggling. Especially, I mean, we're going to get to the Giants. They are the most fun team to watch right now, and I fully believe that. They lost their best wide receiver and their rookie quarterback versus an undefeated team, one of the best teams we've seen, like one of the best teams in the league right now, gets the win. I'm saying the Chargers.
Okay.
Gets the win. Cam Scadaboo is the most fun running back to watch right now, I think. Not because he's backwards hurl over guys, stiff arming guys 5 yards ahead of him. It's because he runs head first straight through their chest every time, does not care. He will get a 2-point conversion, do a backflip. He's a very fun guy to watch. He has he's got a lot of energy. Really fun to watch. Jackson Dart, by the way, I just want to say this. I don't know if you saw, but before the game versus Chargers, he sets post Madison
The
Beer.
Madison, oh my god.
And says it's game day. And proceeds to beat his boyfriend, who's undefeated, with a terrible team without their best receiver. I really like Jackson Dart now. That was a complete power move in my mind, and maybe respect the guy way more than I probably should.
Respect him more?
I respect him more.
Oh my gosh.
If
This is the same guy John Gruden was trash talking because his snap count was. That's literally the same guy.
Yeah,
He says nothing to work in the NFL. But okay, but like I said, let's not rush into things. It was his first game.
no, I know it was his first game.
He played one game. He had like 190.
I'm not saying he's gonna be some elite
He had a
guy.
touchdown and a pick. Like
I'm not saying he's gonna be this elite quarterback. I don't know that yet. It was one game, but
Like
it was fun to watch. It was really fun to watch.
He had a really entertaining
Yes, that's what I was saying.
rookie
was irritating.
debut.
The Chargers honestly just didn't look good on both sides of the ball. I mean, that's a bad team. Like Russell Wilson, who I know isn't in his prime anymore, still a solid quarterback, looked awful. Like they're just not a good team, and he got them the win. That's all that matters, honestly.
Yeah, but I think honestly, good teams, you'd be surprised more often than not. Their losses do come to the bad teams because not every team. It's no one goes undefeated. It's only happened few times in the history of the game, and even then they don't even end up winning the Super Bowl that often because the Patriots 2007 they went undefeated 16-0 and they didn't even win the Super Bowl. So I mean they're gonna lose games. It happens. I'm not gonna say like the Chargers are fraudulent now just because they lost to.
No. I still gotta say they just must have had an off day.
Yeah,
or
off
something.
day.
It just wasn't pretty.
And it can happen when you think you're so much better than the team too. Now it's different now if they start losing to really good teams, where they're at. But definitely a weird one there.
Another team I want to talk about real quick is the Buccaneers. They had a close game with the Eagles. It was 31-25. They beat the Jets again in a close game. Falcons in a close game. Texans in a close game. They're scraping by here, but they're 3-1, leading the division. They have a very exciting young rookie receiver. They have Godwin's coming back, or came back, I'm not sure. Then they got Mike Evans, too. They look like a good playoff team, but does it worry you at all that they're barely scraping by the Jets and the Falcons and the Texans, all teams that before the season started were saying they weren't going to be good?
I mean, the Falcons were talked about for being a pretty decent team. There were hopes that they definitely have a pretty interesting offense going. I mean, Kyle Pitts isn't the tight end that we thought he would be, but Drake London, he's a pretty decent receiver. Then they have Darnell Mooney, another decent receiver, and then obviously Bijan Robinson in their backfield, guy everyone loves. But I don't think it necessarily worries me in any sense, because I don't really view the Buccaneers as a team that's contending for a Super Bowl. They're a playoff team. They're gonna lose in the divisional or the wild card. They're probably not gonna make any type of AFC or NFC championship. So when they barely scrape by some of these teams, it's more of makes sense. They're not supposed to be a great team. They're just a good team. But I mean, you look at it, Baker Mayfield has 4 straight games of fourth quarter comebacks and game-winning drives. That's pretty crazy. I think that just speaks to how good he's actually playing as well. But
all right, well, we are going to start wrapping it up here, but I just want to talk about one last thing. As a Bears fan yourself, again, and with how this league's going, the Packers, right? They're supposed to be the Super Bowl potential team, and they just tied with the Cowboys that the Bears demolished. Does this? I know you personally don't like the Packers at all. You don't want them to win. I personally think that this could be scary for the Packers. Tying with the Cowboys and losing to the Browns back-to-back after both first games. I mean, they beat the Lions by a good amount. Do you think that the Packers might not be the team you thought they were, or if it's just a fluke?
I think, number one, the defense is the biggest thing, because the Packers still scored 40 points.
Yeah.
So obviously, Cowboys' defense is still a big problem. Now, defensively is probably where the Packer fans or the Packers are having their worries, which is something that as a Bears fan we're not necessarily worried about right now, because our defense has actually played fairly well, especially considering our injuries. But I mean, I still have to respect the Packers in some sense, because they beat down the Lions. We got destroyed by them, so I can't really knock them that hard. Like I said, fluke games, and the Cowboys are always just that team that they lose to the really good team, or they win against the good teams, and then they'll lose to the really bad teams and lose in the playoffs type of deal, or vice versa. They do all that kind of garbage, and they always mess around with you. So you never really know what's going on when you beat that team. So I guess I'd probably more necessarily just think of it as the Packers are going to be the Packers, regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
And as a Bears fan, you kind of just have to hope that we figure it out, which right now I'm gaining some confidence that we have a really good coach. And I think Caleb Williams is slowly but surely figuring out a little bit more with every game. So.
All right. Well, we're gonna end it here, but I will say, I think a big game for them is gonna be coming up soon. Is the Commanders on Monday night. I feel like if they beat the Commanders, that'll show them that they're the team and they're ready for it. But with that, we're gonna finish up here. Thank you guys for listening to episode 1 of season 2, and we'll see you soon.